Now we're going to extend our controller class in a class called SlideShowController. This class should be in the MVC folder, so it can be part of the MVC package. Package MVC and some curly braces, and we'll declare the public class SlideShowController to extend controller class. Again, make sure that your class name matches your file name and your constructor name. We'll define the constructor right now. Public function, SlideShowController, and there is the skeleton of our class. We'll import a few classes here that we're going to use. We're going to use the display object class, so import flash.display.displayObject. And then we're going to import all of the event classes, so import flash.events.asterisk. Now remember that the controller had a value passed into the constructor called m, and that was a model. So we're actually going to need to do that here. So every time we create a subclass of the controller, it's going to need to receive this property. So it's going to receive m, which is the data type of model. And then, instead of setting the value of model here, I'm just going to run the constructor of SlideShowController's parent class, also known as the superclass. You run the superclass constructor using the keyword super. So it's basically a method that runs the superclass's constructor. So just type super, all lowercase, and in parentheses, pass in m. And that's going to run the controller constructor method, passing in the value passed in through m. All right, now let's define a couple of methods. We're going to define two methods. And basically this class is going to connect buttons in the FLA file to run the next item and previous item methods that we defined in the controller class. So we're going to have a public method called addNextButton. So we can add as many buttons as we want, and they're going to go to the next item in the model. So addNextButton, in the parentheses it's going to receive a value called btn. This is going to be a display object, so basically any visual object can be a button that goes to the next object in the model. Void is the return data type, some curly braces, and inside of the curly braces we're going to add an event listener to the button to listen for a mouse click. So btn.addEventListener, and it's going to be mouseEvent.click, all caps, and then we'll run the function nextItem. That was defined in the superclass, in other words the controller class, so we don't need to define it here. And all I'm going to do is just copy this method and paste it right below and just change the word next to prev. So add next button should be changed to prev button. So add previous button. Make sure to capitalize the P, by the way. And then instead of running the next item method, we're going to run the previous item method, which is prev item, capital I. So when you pass in a button or some sort of visual object to the addNextButton method, then that button will then have mouse interactivity to go to the next item in the model. And the exact opposite happens with the previous button. The button will have mouse interactivity to go to the previous item in the model. And that's all there is to the SlideShowController class. So let's save the file. And now we're ready to finish the application.